Hello everybody, this is Simeonski again, and today I'm gonna show you some random chips that I haven't mentioned before and some random mechanics of circuits that I probably forgot before or that just didn't fit into what I explained. So have fun with it, let's go. So let's go through some of the chips, components, and anything that I use a lot or that are used a lot and that I didn't explain much yet because it just didn't fit in any of the things I explained very well. So one thing that you want to use in your rooms would be the Recom mat. So this is basically a point where people will spawn in, and you can have several, you can configure it, give it a name, start, change the radius, so people will randomly spawn in within that radius that you set, and you can set it as a default or not. So if you have only one Recom mat, this will be the place where people spawn in. But if you have several ones, you can set them all as default, and people will spawn in randomly at one of these default mats. Or you can give it different names, and you can, if you enter a subroom from a certain other room, then you will be able to spawn in exactly at the welcome mat you select. So that's basically how you use welcome mats. What else do I use a lot? One of the chips I use a lot is called the delay chip. So what does this do? Basically, this is a chip that you can set some seconds or milliseconds to wait for the next action to happen. Like, it's kind of self-explaining. I don't need to do a long thing here, but let's, for the sake of this, just make it short. Let's add a subtitle here. Sub T. Player show subtitle. Hi. So, what this basically will do, if you press, it will run the delay chip, and you can do something that this happens right when you enter the delay, but I want to use the after delay output. So it will wait for 3 seconds and then it will show the high. So that's a chip that you will need kind of very often if you wanna for example, if I would like to show 2 subtitles in a row, I could easily use this delay chip for this. Or I have to use the delay chip for a thing like this. So I would run so for the sake of convenience, let's just disconnect these things now, put the delay in between these two. And then you can see how it works. So it shows, when I press, it shows the subtitle high. Then it goes to the delay, but it goes to the delay right when it starts to show the subtitle. There's no option to just do something once the subtitle is gone, so you need a delay chip for that. Set the same as the duration, and then it should show me something else after 3 seconds. Hi, you. So in this way you can easily make subtitles that don't just have one subtitle, but that they have different sentences that show up after one another, and this should work now. Hi, 3 seconds waiting, you. So this is how you use subtitles. You can use for other things as well, but this would be a very easy example of how to use the subtitles. No, how to use the delay chip, of course, sorry. So what else is important? Are there more components that we need? One more thing that I did not really mention very well before, but you've seen it in the last tutorial already with the vectors. So what else do we have? We have this special yellow input at text boxes, for example, and also in a lot of other boxes. What is this for? This is something you don't necessarily really need, but it makes a lot of things way more easier. I will just show this text example, but there's thousands of chips that work with this kind of input. Text, let's type in text. Yeah, and here you can already see you have a lot of text something inputs. Text set text, text set material, text get text set color. Let's use the text set text set text chip. And this makes things kind of more easy, because you now have to only, again, let's put the button again. So what you would normally have to do is to go from here, press, then get a string variable. Yeah, maybe this is a bad example, because you could just do like that and set the string here. But especially this you would want to use if you want to set different texts here, because you can add only one. You can of course do something with if, then, and so on that sends out a string variable to this. This would be the normal way you could do, but this is the easier way basically. You can use this thing and just connect this yellow to this input. It's a little bit tricky because this is an output and this is an input. I don't know why they decided to do it like this. I'm not sure. Probably because you can change different settings for this. But it's a little bit turned around because you give the input here. And then you just type in your text. Hi, let's do hi again. So this is an easy way to change the text, because you don't need any triggering. It's already doing this here. Maybe that's why it's an output. I don't know why it's an output and the input here. For me it would be more logical to be the other way around, but that's just the way it is. But this is a faster way to change things here. And so these are normally things that you can do with these inputs in a way, but this is the faster way. And so most of the boxes you have, like also the rotator, the piston, some buttons, yeah, the buttons do have this. This is just a different way to change the behavior of the button or the look of the button or the text or anything. Just to let you know, it's just some kind of other mechanic. And you would have to find the right thing for that. Let's look for button, for example. If I type in button, it's always these things. I have a lot of things. Button get is pressed, button set text, button get text, something like this. Toggle button is pressed. So there's a lot of things, and these are all connected to this. Or the piston has the same. If you type in piston, you see it's the same. You can get a lot of, maybe that's why they put it as output, because you can also get a lot of values from that. But you can also set, but it's the same input. So from the piston, you might want to get distance, for example. It would be one of the piston things that you could use, connect to piston, get distance, so you just know how far it went, and then do something with this value that comes out of this. Yeah, I think maybe that's why it's that way. But yeah, you can also use it as an input to change things, and you can also get some output from that. And you see here now, I will not be able to connect this. It's yellow, so it should be connectable, but this will only connect to piston as it tells. And this will only connect to anything button, this to anything text. Another important chip that I didn't use a lot yet because I didn't know it was there, but this is something you might want to remember, is the sequence. Let's put it in here. Delete this. Well, so what does a sequence do? Basically, it's just something that will trigger two events at one input. You sometimes need this because you cannot simply just connect this to several places. Let's say I want to do something, and let's just put anything. Let's just put some text. Two texts. Text. Okay. I have two texts that I want to change or something, or that I want to set. So basically, if you just the example is a little bit stupid, but yeah, if I want to trigger this text and this text with the same button, you see I can only connect it to one. So I sometimes had this problem. You don't encounter this problem super often because there's always workarounds. Like, for example, you can set this text and then go from here directly to set this text. So most of the times you will just find another way to work around, or you can go through this set text and have a second one and just connect both of them. So this example, you wouldn't really need that. And most of the times I would suggest you to use the pass-through kind of thing, but sometimes it's really handy to use the sequence because you can trigger two things with one signal, or even configure the sequence and add more outputs. Bam, bam, bam. Trigger 6 things with one button, things like that. This is very helpful, and I wish I would have known this before. Another one thing that sometimes you will sometimes need is called the string format. And of course it's in connection with the to string that I already used before. What can you do with that? This is one thing that you can add any value that's not a string, or that is even a string. For example, I could add the player name or number or anything to the string format. And then I could make a very special thing here. I could call it I would use the brackets and start with 0. So I use these funny brackets and put a 0. This will put the value that's inputted here in there. Has pressed this button. So what does this do? This tells that this value will go here instead of the 0 and the thingy. And then if I press the button, it will do nothing. Just because I didn't connect it to anything, of course. I have to connect it. But you can already see Simeon has pressed the button, it tells now. And if I press this, it says Simeon has pressed this button. This is very helpful for putting in values and names and other things that are input by the player. Yeah. And you can as well just add more inputs. So you can add more values that will be in the text. And you would just have to continue with these, but don't put a 0. Just instead of this, put a 1, 2, 3, etc. And you can put it anywhere on the text and change the text accordingly. Thank you guys for watching again. As always, like and subscribe, and visit my extra room that I built to show off the things that you can do and to give you a little bit insight, especially when the circuits come up, that you can just check out, make a selfie, post it, whatever. And yeah, see you in the next tutorial. Bye bye.